The once desperate junior has become a Doshing, slaughtering the Soul Palace and the Human Palace, seizing the strange flame and shocking everyone present. He stripped the Sea Heart Flame of its power, and even the combined might of Gu Yu and the Great Heavenly Venerable couldn't withstand the Yellow Springs 3-piece set. Picking up where we left off, Elder Mu Gu was so shocked he almost lost control of his bladder, blurting out Xiao Yan's name. Since his failed attempt to seize the 3,000 flames, he had been sent to the Human Palace, collecting souls outside the central continent. Although he had occasionally heard rumors of Xiao Yan's greatly increased strength, he hadn't investigated them deeply. However, upon seeing him again, he finally understood that this so-called increase was terrifying. His voice trembled as he announced that Xiao Yan had actually advanced to Doshing. Xiao Yan smiled, saying that he regretted not seeing him for so many years. The Sea Heart Flame was, after all, a strange flame. Leaving it to someone like Elder Mu Gu would be a waste. Since they had met again, he would hand it over. He pressed his palm directly onto Elder Mu Gu's head, and a strange suction force erupted from his hand, attempting to forcibly extract the Sea Heart Flame from Elder Mu Gu's body. Just as Xiao Yan was about to forcefully extract the Sea Heart Flame, a furious roar echoed from within the giant hall, rebuking Xiao Yan for daring to trespass into the Soul Hall, truly courting death by entering the Netherworld. Immediately, a black shadow shot out, a massive, 100-jong-long, jet-black chain, like a black venomous dragon, piercing through the void and hurtling towards Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan shook his head slightly at the chain, indicating that a mere half-saint dared to make a fool of himself. Elder Gu Yu was overestimating himself. He flicked his finger, and a deep sonic boom formed beneath his fingertip, while the massive chain, as if struck by a heavy blow, crashed back violently, finally slamming heavily against the giant hall. With a flick of his finger, Xiao Yan deflected the attack of the Bone Nether Saint. His hand lashed out, and a ball of azure flame was forcibly extracted from the body of the old man Mu Gu. The latter's aura instantly weakened, clearly suffering a fatal blow. With the Sea Heart Flame forcibly stripped away, the old man Mu Gu's eyes turned bloodshot, and his body swelled up, clearly intending to self-destruct. Xiao Yan coldly glanced at him, indicating that he didn't even have the right to self-destruct in front of him. With a casual flick of his sleeve, an indescribably terrifying gust of wind slammed into the old man Mu Gu's body. The terrifying force instantly shattered the old man's body into a cloud of blood mist. This Soul Palace Venerable, who had once chased Xiao Yan to a considerable degree, was now stripped of even the ability to self-destruct in Xiao Yan's hands. Having shattered the old man Mu Gu's body and soul, Xiao Yan glanced at the Sea Heart Flame in his hand, then opened his mouth and swallowed it. With his current strength, absorbing the Sea Heart Flame would hardly increase his power further, but he still needed it to unleash the Buddha's Wrath Lotus. While the transformation flame wasn't weak, it was merely a pseudo-differential flame. Only after possessing the Sea Heart Flame could Xiao Yan truly unleash the 5-colored Destruction Lotus. After Xiao Yan swallowed the Sea Heart Flame, the figure of the Bone Nether Saint appeared in midair, coldly declaring that this place would be Xiao Yan's final resting place. Xiao Yan raised his head, smiled slightly at the Bone Nether Saint, and softly apologized, indicating that he intended to massacre everyone here today. He mentioned that Xi Yan had disrupted the spatial fluctuations of this area, rendering even the spatial jade slips used to summon Soul Clan experts ineffective. Upon hearing this, the Bone Nether Saint was enraged and laughed, declaring that Xiao Yan, a mere junior, was the first person in all these years to dare speak of massacring his Soul Palace. Xiao Yan ignored him, turning his gaze directly to the massive black hall. He calmly declared that the so-called Great Celestial Venerable should stop hiding. He, Xiao Yan, was determined to cleanse this place of blood today. As soon as Xiao Yan finished speaking, a cold snort echoed from the depths of the hall, implying arrogance. It warned him not to think that reaching the Doshing level meant he could do whatever he wanted. The Soul Clan could easily annihilate him with a flick of their wrist. Immediately, thick black mist surged forth, and from within it, a gaunt, skeletal figure emerged, radiating a sinister aura. The black mist churned, and a hunched figure, as withered as bones, slowly came into Xiao Yan's view. Clad in black robes, his aged face was extremely withered, his eyes sunken, 2 ghostly flames flickering in their sockets, exuding an eerie aura. Xiao Yan smiled slightly at the aged figure, softly stating that the legendary Grand Celestial Venerable of the Soul Palace had finally shown himself. The aged figure slowly raised his head, his withered face appearing somewhat terrifying under the light. The ghostly flames in his eyes flickered slightly, and a hoarse, chilling voice quietly rang out, indicating that Xiao Yan had the audacity to deliver himself to their doorstep. The clan had originally decided to let him live a little longer, but since he had come of his own accord, the old man had no choice but to take his life first. Xiao Yan smiled, indicating that it was still uncertain who would take whose life, but his eyes were unusually cold as he stared at the withered old man. Back when he killed the Bone Nether Saint, this old ghost had secretly intervened to rescue him. If he had shown himself then, Xiao Yan might not have been able to defeat him so easily, but now it was a different story. With his current level of insight, Xiao Yan could naturally discern that the great celestial venerable's strength was at the mid-stage of a 2-star Doshing. Even after his significant power increase, he was still a level stronger, but this gap was not difficult for Xiao Yan to bridge. The Bone Nether Saint's eyes flashed with a fierce light. He said, "Why waste words with this junior? Kill him and extract his soul." He then grinned maliciously, stating that the soul of a half-saint was worth nearly 100 years' worth of souls collected by a branch hall. He also mentioned that Lu Leigui's group had recently raided several cities of Tianfu, bringing back enough souls and receiving a heavy reward from the Celestial Venerable. This time, they should also go and massacre a few cities of Tianfu. As soon as the Bone Nether Saint finished speaking, the space before him distorted, and Yao Lao's figure slowly emerged. He smiled at the former, indicating that the old ghost Bone Nether had been talking too much nonsense, he should shut him up himself. His eyes held a hint of ill intent. Upon seeing Yao Lao before him, Gu Yu's expression darkened. He was about to sneer when he suddenly felt a faint pressure emanating from Yao Lao's body. His face instantly turned ugly, and he exclaimed in surprise that Yao Chen had actually broken through to the Doshing realm. Yao Lao smiled slightly, indicating it was merely luck. Last time Gu Yu had ambushed him, this time he would pay the debt. Gu Yu snorted coldly, indicating that he shouldn't be afraid just because Yao Chen had reached the Doshing realm. He was only a hair's breadth away from becoming a Doshing himself. This was their home turf, where his combat power would be significantly amplified. He pressed down with both palms, and a torrent of black energy surged forth from his body. The numerous massive chains surrounding the giant hall trembled violently, streams of black energy surging out and ultimately merging into his body. He roared, declaring that he wanted to see what Yao Chen had done to deserve this debt to the Soul Palace. Last time the Soul Palace had captured him, this time he would certainly capture him and imprison him again. Black energy surged forth, and Gu Yu, like a demon god descended to earth, roared to the sky. A series of clanging sounds rang out as countless black chains, accompanied by shrill screams, swept towards Yao Lao from within the black mist, their force terrifying. Seeing this, Yao Lao smiled faintly and did not back down. His Do Chi surged forth, transforming into a bolt of lightning that clashed heavily with Gu Yu. While Yao Lao and Gu Yu were fighting, Xiao Yan stopped wasting words with the great celestial venerable. He glanced at the surrounding Soul Palace experts, then turned to Little Fairy Doctor and Qing Lin, smiling. The others are left to them. Although the palace was heavily fortified, and the so-called heavenly venerables within were quite powerful, with Little Fairy Doctor and Qing Lin's current strength enough to fight even a half-saint, they naturally wouldn't fear the sheer number of opponents. Add to that Qing Lin's Azure Serpent 3-flower pupil, and it was truly uncertain who would gain the upper hand in a direct confrontation. Seeing this, the great heavenly venerable's expression turned slightly cold, and his hand suddenly formed a hand seal within his sleeve. As soon as the seal was completed, the space around Xiao Yan rippled, and numerous white shadows flashed into view. Countless sharp white bones suddenly materialized from the surrounding void, hurtling towards him with lightning speed. Xiao Yan smiled at this lightning-fast bone spiky attack, dismissing it as a mere trick. With a flick of his sleeve, a powerful flame erupted from his body, the terrifying temperature instantly melting away the bone's spiky. The bone spurs had barely dissipated when the great celestial venerable's chilling roar suddenly resounded, unleashing the Bone Emperor's heaven-splitting power. Immediately, the space above Xiao Yan's head rippled rapidly, and a massive bone blade, radiating an eerie aura, cleaved through the void, slashing down towards Xiao Yan from afar. As the strange bone blade swung down, a peculiar wave of energy spread outwards, hurtling towards Xiao Yan with lightning speed. Sensing the strange wave, Xiao Yan was slightly startled. He hadn't expected the great celestial venerable to possess soul attacks, but unfortunately, Xiao Yan had never been afraid of anyone when it came to a clash of soul power. He let out a low shout of "Shatter!" clenched his fist, and calmly threw a punch. This punch lacked any fancy moves or fluctuations of battle chi. However, as it was thrown, the soul power between Xiao Yan's brows surged forth. An invisible soul fist wind erupted from Xiao Yan's palm, colliding with the bone blade's energy wave in midair, ultimately annihilating both. Seeing the soul fluctuation easily shattered by Xiao Yan, the great celestial venerable flashed into the sky, appearing beneath the massive bone blade, hundreds of feet in size. Black mist surged from his hand, transforming into a giant hand that gripped the hilt. With a cold shout, the bone blade tore through space, instantly reaching Xiao Yan's head and slashing down with terrifying power. Xiao Yan noticed something strange about the bone blade. It seemed capable of wounding the soul. The enormous bone blade rapidly magnified in Xiao Yan's eyes. He pressed his hands firmly into the void, and nearly 100 massive pillars of magma erupted from the ground below, colliding fiercely with the bone blade. The attack blocked. The great celestial venerable let out a cold snort. With a gentle swipe of the massive bone blade, the 100+ pillars of magma exploded, and even the raging flames beneath the ground were suppressed by this single strike. The great celestial venerable held his bone blade slightly, its expression sinister. He declared that this bone blade was forged from the bones of 10,000 people, containing countless souls sacrificed to it. Anyone touched by its blade's aura would suffer the torment of being devoured by countless souls. He added that using it to take Xiao Yan's life today would be an honor. Xiao Yan sneered, dismissing it as unorthodox. Confident in his unique fire protecting him, he believed no blade energy could harm his soul. With a flick of his hand, 5 flames appeared before him. Along with the sea heart flame, he had just refined 5 genuine unique fires. He declared that since the great celestial venerable was so confident in this bone-breaking blade, he would break it himself. Xiao Yan's hand seals shifted with lightning speed, and with each change, the 5 unique fires before him expanded, transforming in a short instant into 5 enormous fire spirits: wolf, leopard, dragon, and others floating in the sky, connecting rapidly to form a massive fire array. The 5-wheel fire technique, with 4 of the 5 elemental fires condensed from different types of fire, already possessed power comparable to a heaven-rank battle technique. Now, Xiao Yan had used all of them, condensing them from different types of fire, to unleash the 5-wheel fire technique to its fullest potential. The 5 fire elements rapidly merged, instantly transforming into a massive fire wheel hundreds of feet long. The fire wheel spun wildly, causing even space itself to collapse, turning black like a monstrous maw. The great celestial venerable smiled coldly, displaying his arrogance. Black energy surged from his body, transforming into countless grotesque souls that screamed and poured into the bone blade. As these souls poured in, traces of crimson, like dark blood, gradually appeared on the blade's pale surface. He roared, "Soul annihilation slash!" As the strange bloodstains appeared on the bone blade, a solemn expression appeared on the great celestial venerable's face. He swung his hand fiercely, slashing the massive bone blade down at the fire wheel floating in the sky. A flush crept onto the great celestial venerable's face. Where the bone blade passed, space collapsed, carving a deep trench hundreds of feet long into the ground 1,000 feet below. He roared, "Break for yourself!" Sensing the ferocity of the great celestial venerable's strike, Xiao Yan's hand seals changed. The fire wheel abruptly changed direction, spinning wildly. Then, like a blade covering the sky, it hurtled out with lightning speed, finally colliding head-on with the massive bone blade. The moment of impact, a deafening roar erupted in the sealed space. A raging energy storm swept outwards, even causing the Black Palace to collapse. Terrifying energy fluctuations swept across the sky, even causing the spatial barrier covering the area to ripple violently, with faint cracks spreading outwards. At the confluence of energy storms in the sky, the storm trembled violently, sending the massive fire disk flying back. As it spun rapidly, it grew increasingly faint until it vanished completely. As the fire disk dissipated, a gigantic bone blade was also ejected from the storm, crashing heavily onto a mountain peak. The terrifying force instantly shattered the mountain into ruins, the bone blade lying lifeless amidst the rubble. This head-on clash clearly resulted in either side gaining a significant advantage. Both sustained damage. The fiery array above Xiao Yan's head slowly dissipated, transforming into 5 balls of flame which he swallowed whole. His gaze turned to the azure bone blade with some surprise. At the moment of contact, he could sense a strange, silent fluctuation emanating from the blade. This fluctuation was extremely damaging to the soul. If his soul hadn't been protected by the strange fire, he would have suffered a considerable loss. The Grand Celestial Venerable in the distant sky looked at Xiao Yan with a hint of solemnity. He acknowledged that Xiao Yan, who had caused the Soul Hall's capture missions to fail several times, indeed possessed considerable skill. He marveled at how Xiao Yan had advanced from a 1-star Doxing to a 2-star Doxing in less than a year, a speed that even he had to admire. He believed that if such a talent were to join the Soul Hall, his status would certainly be no less than his own. Hearing the Grand Celestial Venerable's words, Xiao Yan gave a strange smile. He and the Soul Hall were practically mortal enemies. Now this old man actually wanted to win him over? Xiao Yan's strange expression angered the Grand Celestial Venerable, who immediately sneered, indicating that Xiao Yan was ungrateful. He predicted that Xiao Yan would soon understand the true strength of the Soul Clan on this continent. Someone like him was nothing more than an ant, and the Soul Clan could easily wipe him out. Xiao Yan remained noncommittal, a faint smile playing on his lips, indicating that they should deal with the Great Celestial Venerable first. The Great Celestial Venerable let out a strange laugh, like that of a night owl, implying that Xiao Yan was no match for him. He gripped a massive bone blade in his hand towards the ruins below, which then flew out and hovered before him. With a swift movement, he stood directly on the bone blade, and ripples spread across its surface. The Great Celestial Venerable's body slowly merged into the bone blade. Seeing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help but raise an eyebrow, realizing this was a fusion of man and blade. The Great Celestial Venerable explained that he had cultivated for hundreds of years to fuse his body with the Bone Emperor blade, and today was his first time using it in battle, using Xiao Yan as a sacrificial offering. The massive Bone Emperor blade hovered in the void, the Great Celestial Venerable's face appearing on its blade. He grinned strangely at Xiao Yan, and countless fine blood streaks, like dense blood vessels, slowly spread across the white blade. The moment the Great Celestial Venerable's voice fell, the Bone Emperor blade trembled and vanished instantly. Xiao Yan felt a chill run down his spine, thinking how incredibly fast it was. Almost reflexively, he retreated, and in that instant, the space in front of him rippled as a sharp blade slashed down, its tip only half a foot from Xiao Yan's head. The blade missed its target, and the Bone Emperor blade emitted another strange laugh, indicating that Xiao Yan's reaction was not slow. The blade trembled, a strange sword cry suddenly rang out, and countless sword shadows flashed out. Directly, in an instant, the space around Xiao Yan was enveloped, and the sharp blade light aimed directly at his vital points. Faced with the Bone Emperor blade's relentless and fierce attacks, Xiao Yan's expression turned solemn. He gripped the Xian heavy ruler, which he hadn't used in a long time, and with a tremor, countless blade shadows formed a defensive net, completely enveloping his body. Countless sharp blade shadows rained down on the ruler shadows, instantly erupting in bursts of sparks. Each collision between the ruler shadows and the blade shadows caused a dark crack to appear in the surrounding space. Faced with Xiao Yan's tortoise-shell-like defense, the Bone Emperor blade's attack frequency increased wildly again. The extremely terrifying attack speed made a look of seriousness flash across Xiao Yan's eyes. With just this one move, the Great Celestial Venerable was enough to fight against a powerhouse with the strength of a late-stage 2-star Doxing. Even Yao Ming would have difficulty defeating him. The so-called unity of man and blade was indeed quite bizarre. Xiao Yan focused his mind on building his defenses, but a sudden sense of crisis arose within him, and he abruptly tilted his head. In that instant, the surrounding shadowy figures were violently torn apart by a blinding blade of light. A sharp, cold glint struck Xiao Yan's shoulder. Upon contact with the robe covering his body, the robe burst forth with light, slightly impeding the blade's sharpness. However, the light was then forcibly ripped apart by the blade, and the Bone Emperor blade mercilessly struck Xiao Yan's shoulder. Sparks erupted at the moment of impact, but no blood flowed. A few broken scales were faintly visible, clearly indicating that Xiao Yan had summoned the Dragon Phoenix ancient armor hidden beneath his skin at the crucial moment. Struck by the Bone Emperor blade, Xiao Yan swung his heavy ruler fiercely, smashing it against the blade and sending it flying. He glanced at the faint bloodstain on his shoulder, his expression slightly grim. This was the first time in many years that his 6 Harmonies body ruler had been forcibly breached while he was using it. This demonstrated the terrifying speed at which the Great Celestial Venerable's attacks had become after he merged with the blade. Such a tough body. The Great Celestial Venerable's body reappeared on the Bone Emperor blade, which had been smashed away. He grinned at Xiao Yan and said, Your attack speed is too slow, far from keeping up with me after merging with the blade. Xiao Yan remained expressionless, nodding slightly. He didn't deny the great celestial venerable's strength. With just this one move, he could challenge a late stage 2-star Doshing, a feat that was enough to make him proud. A long breath escaped Xiao Yan's lips, his expression gradually turning solemn. He clasped his hands together, rapidly forming a series of intricate hand seals. As the seals changed, the soul power between Xiao Yan's brows suddenly burst forth, transforming into a gigantic phantom that enveloped his body. You're fast? I'm faster than you! The hand seals slowly solidified, and a cold smile appeared on Xiao Yan's face. Yellow Spring's Wrath! With a thought from Xiao Yan, the gigantic phantom slowly opened its massive maw, unleashing a terrifying soul shockwave like a storm. The terrifying sonic shockwave spread outwards, instantly freezing nearly 70% of the Soul Palace experts in this space. Then, with a bang, their bodies vanished into nothingness. Their souls and bodies were both annihilated by this soul shockwave. The powerful soul shockwave was also detected by the great celestial venerable. However, in that instant of detection, before he could even mount a defense, the soul shockwave had already reached the blade. The massive bone emperor blade flew backwards at that moment. As it flew, an aged figure was also thrown out of the blade in a sorry state, spitting out a mouthful of blood. The great celestial venerable had actually been directly blasted out of the bone emperor blade by Xiao Yan. Yellow Spring Finger! Seeing the great celestial venerable forcibly unleash the bone emperor blade, Xiao Yan pointed his finger sharply, and a gigantic energy finger materialized instantly. He then slammed it down on the great celestial venerable's body, the terrifying force causing the latter's body to explode instantly, one arm turning into a bloody mist. Yellow Spring Palm! With a roar and a finger strike, turning the tide, Xiao Yan showed no mercy. He unleashed another palm strike, a massive energy palm print forming, slamming into the great celestial venerable's body. The latter's body, like a cannonball, shot down from the sky, crashing into the ground. The terrifying aftershocks created a massive crater hundreds of feet deep in the earth. 3 moves: the Yellow Spring Demon Saint's 3 ultimate techniques: Yellow Spring Heavenly Wrath to injure the soul, Yellow Spring Finger, and Yellow Spring Palm to destroy the physical body. Xiao Yan wielded these 3 techniques with consummate skill. Their power could only be described as terrifying. Xiao Yan hovered in the sky, slowly exhaling, his gaze indifferently fixed on the deep pit. There, a faint trace of life remained clearly. The great celestial venerable still had a few breaths left. Die! Xiao Yan's eyes were cold. His palm was aimed at the bottom of the pit, about to suddenly clench, when a powerful energy fluctuation suddenly emanated from the giant hall. Immediately, the space in front of Xiao Yan distorted, and a figure slowly emerged. At the same time, an exceptionally powerful aura swept out from this enclosed space. Xiao Yan, how dare you! Hearing the deep voice, Xiao Yan smiled, looking at the ghostly figure. He seemed unsurprised by the sudden appearance, and said calmly, Vice Hall Master of the Soul Hall, after hiding for so long, you finally couldn't resist making a move?